as you get older, as you've built a level of assets, I think the attention also shifts. That it's not just anymore about how much you make. And I've seen this also from a larger number of individuals also, that they've earned a decent amount of money already. They also have a level of investments already. The priorities and the worries shift. That it's not anymore how much I could earn, but the narrative changes to how do I maximize what I have, or how do I preserve what I have as well. Hey guys, so when you watch a lot of YouTube videos, there's a lot of emphasis in terms of how to make money. I think that's good and sound because there's a lot of rationale also where we need to teach people about the basics, the rudiments of how to actually make more. That I think that there's a broad majority of people also that they actually need different sources of income. And we've been talking about that also in this channel, to never limit what you earn to just one source. Meaning, don't just limit it to your job, don't just limit it to your business, don't just rely on just trading, because the name of the game is having multiple streams of income. The name of the game is creating different streams so that if one goes down, two goes down, you have others that will work for you, or you just have the ability to make those streams earn and work on full throttle on your behalf as well. However, what I want to submit to you is this, that as you get older, as you've built a level of assets, I think the attention also shifts. That it's not just anymore about how much you make. And I've seen this also from a larger number of individuals also, that they've earned a decent amount of money already. They also have a level of investments already. The priorities and the worries shift. That it's not anymore how much I could earn, but the narrative changes to how do I maximize what I have, or how do I preserve what I have as well. Because what people don't talk about is when you've earned it, you see a lot of people go from this, getting a large amount of money, then crashing a few years later, or even getting it worse, or even going lower than where they were before. Because it's true also that it's not about how much you earn, it's not about how much you make, but it's also about how you manage it and how you maximize it and how you actually preserve it. If you're watching this and you're similar to me, I'm in my late 30s, you still get to enjoy or live the same lifestyle as you want when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s. Because in reality also is that if you have a level of savings, when you hit 60, 70 and then pension starts to kick in also, you'll be able to live. But the lifestyle that you want, is it the same level as what you are having right now? Focus on earning, getting more streams of income when you're just starting out. However, as you start to earn more, as you start to build that savings, or as you start building that asset base where you get revenue from it, or you get capital appreciation from it, the narrative shifts on how you can maximize this for the long term. And with me saying that also, it's under the context of 10 years from now, maybe when you need the money, how can you make sure that by the time you need the money, should the market be down, you won't be affected? And the reason why I say that is this. When March 2020 hit, we had massive drops across the board in different asset classes. Those that were about to retire, or those who needed the money already, they were the ones who were generally hit. They were the ones who were not able to withdraw. And it's also now affecting their expenses. It's affecting the way they live. It's easy to talk about, oh, just hold on to it. Just hold on to your investments. If you're young, if your timeline is long, if you have cash flow, if you can be flexible and wait not to touch it. But that won't be the case for other people who are older. That's why I highly submit to you that one of your narratives and one of your techniques is that you have to look at it from a plan of, okay, I need to maximize this to a point that when I need it, I won't be affected by any sort of volatility. I won't be affected by any crashes that may come my way. I won't be affected if there should be another recession. And it's not a question whether recessions will happen. It's only a question of when. We saw that March 2020, we saw deep dives, we saw crashes at that time. And fast forward to where we are right now, 2022, it's not as bullish as what everyone else thought it would actually be. Of course, you can't control that, but one way to actually segment it and place a greater preference on maximizing it is that be as aggressive as you can right now while you are at the peak, while you are at the prime of your years, prime investing capacity, prime earning capacity. But somewhere along the line, you start shifting some and taking some into investments that are less risky, less volatile, and you start computing it also in a way that should a crash happen, it shouldn't affect you. You'd still be able to pull out and still be able to live the life that you want by the time that you need it. It's not just about maximizing it, but it's also about preserving it. That whatever happens, good market, bad market, you have the money. When you're old, you have the money. That you're not just a one-hit wonder. That's why I've been harping on diversification also, because when you're diversified, it allows you and it protects you also in certain segments of your assets, in certain segments of your life, that it's balanced enough that you have certain assets that will give you growth, you have certain assets that will add to you, but you need certain assets that will maximize what you have and also preserve what you have as well. I don't know for who this is for, but if you're young and you're watching this and all you're thinking about is earning, which is not bad, but you also have to think about the future, or at least the midterm, that you have to maximize and preserve what you're actually getting. If you're my age already, we're a bit older also, and you're not at the point yet where you're maximizing what you have, or you're trying to preserve bits and pieces of it, but you're still trying to play catch up, you have to accelerate it more, and there has to be a greater preference also on you trying to put in and pile in more. What does that actually mean? If you're an employee and you're watching this and you think that, you're right, Marvin, I don't have any savings yet. You have to be very intentional with your money, meaning your bonuses, which is coming in the next few months, which is coming in the next few weeks, your 13-month pay, double down, put it and invest it. If you can invest, save everything from that 13-month pay and that bonus, you do it. And I highly suggest this. If you're watching this, regardless if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you believe that you don't have any investments yet that will maximize what you have or preserve what you have, I challenge you to put your entire 13-month pay, your entire bonus for investing. Because that actually means that if you haven't really saved or invested yet in the past years, maybe you also have enjoyed the money that you have, which is not bad. It's not bad to enjoy your money. However, maybe this is the time that you be intentional also to think about your future. This is the time also that you become intentional also to think about that I enjoyed a lot in the past years. It's now time to make a sacrifice. And I'll tell you this, sacrifices are normal if you want to plan for a better future. Because at a certain point in your life, you will have to sacrifice, meaning you'll have to deploy funds into something that you won't touch today. The problem is, if you wait too long, you remove the chance for money to work on your behalf. But not just that, it may be too late if you do it when you're older. That's why when people always say that the best time to invest is now, that's the reality. The sooner you realize it, the sooner you build a base, the sooner you stack. It doesn't matter if a recession will happen. It doesn't matter if there are dips. Let your investment base be so big that even if it drops a lot, you are still okay. Let your savings base be okay. That even if there's uncertainty in the markets, there's uncertainty in the economy over the next few years, you will still be okay. We do not know how the economy will be 5 or 10 years from now, but we do know how we can plan for our finances, how we can hedge, how we can structure a way that no matter what happens, we shall come out on top financially, that we are okay financially. Because I'll say this is so underrated, but financial planning is one of the greatest things that you could ever do with your finances. Investments is okay, entrepreneurship is okay, saving money is okay, but if you don't plan it well, if you don't structure it, if you don't do it in a way that will be maximized and preserved, that will outlast you, then all of the savings and investments that you have might be purposeless, might not be something that will benefit you the most. The greatest thing that you can do with your money, if you make it very, very intentional. That's it for now. I hope you guys got a lot from this. If you stayed up until then, appreciate it if you can press the like button, subscribe. If you want to know more about investing, stocks, crypto, hundreds of videos down below, playlists down below. I also have seminars, webinars, courses. If you want to book a one-on-one session with me, check it out down below. I have books. If you want to invest in the crypto market, we have brokers also down below that you can choose from. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you all.